All right. Hey, I'm Dave from Solvent Printer Guys, formerly solventprinterconversion.com, and today I'm here with a Roland VS300 that's getting ready to ship out, and I just wanted to show anyone who's watching some basic regular manual maintenance that you're going to want to do on a machine like this. And this is going to be similar from any other Roland models as well. So with any EcoSolvent printer cutter, in addition to pressing the cleaning cycle in the menu and having the pump run and the wiper wipe, you're going to want to do a manual cleaning using a tech swab like this and some clear cleaning solution that mates with the ink that you're running, so that you can get any gunk buildup, any fibers, any dust, any impurities that might be in the air. Get those off of the parts that are in your ink system, because if you don't, you end up with just this sludgy gunk that is going to cause your print heads to stop sealing properly on the cap tops, and that's going to lead to losing some of your nozzles from firing correctly and from getting a good cleaning cycle, and it's just going to get expensive, and your print quality is definitely going to go down. So basically, this is something I'd recommend doing once a week, and it may vary in the print environment that you're in as to how clean or dirty the space is. It may vary from how often you're running things, but I would recommend on a very regular basis, make a routine out of doing this cleaning, in addition to also regularly printing these test prints. And running other stuff. Don't rely just on the test prints alone. I highly recommend, if your printer is having some downtime where you're not doing a lot of jobs on it, keep the heads in motion by running something. Find something to keep those nozzles exercised, because if they start to get to where they've just been sitting there, inevitably they stop firing correctly, because they start to get just a little bit clogged up. And so anything you can do to keep things moving is going to improve the longevity of your printer and the print head components in there. So in order to get into a manual cleaning on this machine or similar machines, you're going to press menu, you're going to go down until you find sub menu, and press over to the right, you're going to go down again until you find maintenance, you're going to go over to the right, and you're going to hit cleaning. It's going to say open cover L. That's this one down here. So you're going to take out these thumb screws and remove this cover. Now this is going to say remove cut rail. This is not the same on every machine, but on this one, in order to properly get at the bottom of the print head, we're going to remove this. It is important that you put this back in when you're done. Otherwise, I can assure you that your sheet cut function will not work correctly. So we've removed cut rail. Yes. Enter. Close cover L. I love these machines. They just want you to keep your fingers and stuff from getting chopped off, which is good. Now this print carriage is going to slide over to the end, and it's going to allow us to remove this cover again. The reason why it wants this cover in place is it just wants to keep our fingers safe. Now it's going to tell us to open cover L. And here we are. So here what you're looking at is the cut carriage on your left, which there's limited maintenance to do with. You have your contour cut blade, which you remove this brass knob, and in here you have your contour cut blade. If you poke down on this, your blade pops out here. You can pull this blade out and replace it with another. Most people find that running a 45-degree contour cut blade that is fresh and sharp works well for most materials. For some thicker materials, a 60-degree blade works well. This also has a sheet cut blade here, which you'd replace by loosening this thumb screw, sliding this, whoops, usually these are held in place with a magnet. Oh, there we go. Sliding it up here, and this one actually needs to be replaced. See a little rust on there, and so I'll replace that one here shortly. This blade just pops off, there's a magnet here, and then you pop it back on, line it up, slide it back in. So that is simple. The most important thing over here though is our print carriage. And our print carriage includes our print head, which you can see right in here. If you see, there's a metal band that goes around most of the head, at least on this model it's on the two ends. And what we want to do, that's where most of the gunk will accumulate with a print head that has a bunch of miles on it. So you want to dampen your cleaning swab so that it has cleaning solution, and then just kind of gently work along that little middle edge. This print head is brand new, so it really doesn't need a whole lot. Do not rub and scrub on the face of the head. It's not going to help you. It's only going to cause problems because the face of the head is very thin membrane, and you can cause damage by doing that. So look for anything that might be hanging down. If there's any fibers, dust, things, you could gently get them off with this. But overall, you're just getting rid of some gunk and all that. Then we'll take a look. Let's see if on this model these are open. If not, we might need to do a different thing here. Yeah, we can get in and see this wiper. So here we've got two things in here that I'd like to do. One is we've got our cap top, which is this guy here, which is very important because it seals against the head. And you take your same thing, that your dampened swab, you'd go around the outside edges, the rubber edge of this, and you just want to keep that clean and tidy and fresh. And then right over here we've got our wiper, and this wiper's job is that it acts kind of like a little squeegee after and during the cleaning cycle, and it goes through and gets extra ink off of the heads. And so if that wiper gets gunky, you're going to have problems. So and it's a good idea to keep an extra wiper on hand. This model also uses a felt wiper that on this is kind of buried down there, and you have to use another function to pull it up. So in one part of this there's the rubbery feeling wiper, and then in another one there's a felt wiper. You can see them both new in bags up here. So you see the different types. So I'm going to go ahead and put this cover back on, and we'll put this other cover back on. There we go. And you know what? I told you about forgetting to do this, and now we'll do that after. So there we go. Finish. Yes. Enter. Close cover L. So this is we're gonna close this cover, which is what I was thinking. Then this carriage is gonna come back down. It's probably gonna remind us about that rail. Now it's gonna say to open this, so we can put this rail back in. Cool. And it's totally normal that after you've done that manual cleaning, it's going to do an automatic cleaning cycle, which it's programmed to do just about any time that the print heads have been off of that cap top, just again to try to keep things fresh. Another quick thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is periodically keeping the rail that the carriage slides back and forth on, keeping that properly clean and lubricated. So there's a whole bearing assembly on the back of the print carriage and the cut carriage. There's two on the back of the print carriage, one on the back of the cut carriage, and they glide back and forth on this precision machined rail. And if that rail ends up getting dry, where it doesn't have lubrication on it, those bearings can start to stiffen up, and they won't move as easily as they should. So I'd recommend using a clean tech swab. This one's used. I'm just showing it for demonstration. And some 3-in-1 is good. We have used some white lithium greases. Some of them end up getting a little too thick and too tacky. So, but you want to first wipe off the rail so that you don't have anything on it that's going to, any old sludge, any old dust that's accumulated there. You're going to want to wipe that off, wipe it clean, and then dab on some oil on there. I can lift this up and you can see a little more clearly now. This is the rail. There's a top to it and a bottom to it, and you want to apply lubrication to both. if you look right over here, I don't know if you can see that's the bearing assembly that the cut carriage glides on. And so it just kind of clamps over it like a C over the top of that. So you want to make sure end to end that rail gets some cleaning and then lubrication on a regular basis as well. Hopefully with this information you can keep your machine running for many years to come. Thanks. This has been Dave from Solvent Printer Guys, formerly Solvent Printer Conversion. Take care.